My name is Dan. I'm the head of later life lending at UK Moneyman, and I'd just like to talk to you about the process of getting equity release. So obviously the first instance is to have a chat with an equity release advisor. Now, choose an advisor who is able to talk to you about not just equity release. There's a lot of focus on that being the solution for all older borrowers. It isn't. There are lots of different solutions available. Having an initial conversation will allow the advisor to get to know what you want to do. It'll get you to know the advisor and whether they're someone that you trust and that you want to work with. Okay, so once you've had your initial chat, you'll book in for a fact-find appointment. Now this is likely to take sort of 45 minutes to an hour. It's really useful if you can have your financial details to hand, because the advisor will want to know about any existing loans or mortgages that you've got, what your outgoings are, what your income is, if you've got pensions that you're not taking yet. When are those likely to mature? Are you likely to take a tax-free lump sum from your pensions, or is it a question of just taking the income into account? All of those things help to build up a picture of where you are at the moment and where you see the next 15, 20 years going as far as you can. The other thing that we'll talk about is inheritance for your family, what you want to happen to the residue of the money. And again, use your appointment as a way to clarify your plans. You can talk about power of attorney, you talk about your wills, any funeral planning, any concerns you've got about future care needs. And all of those things we can look at in that appointment. It doesn't all have to happen in one appointment. We can split it over several. We really welcome your family to be involved if you'd like that to be the case. If you've got any communication difficulties, so hard of hearing and anything like that, please let us know. We can accommodate all of that. Once we've done the fact find and we've got a really good picture of your circumstances, what you want to achieve and how you see the future going, we can then do our research. And the result of that research will be a recommendation of an equity release product, a lifetime mortgage product, or a retirement interest only, mainstream mortgage product, whatever best suits your needs. We'll send that out to you, and then once you've had a chance to review it yourself, we'll book in for another appointment and we'll go through the illustration point by point, so that we're absolutely sure that you have understood all of the terms and conditions. If it's a lifetime mortgage, we're sure that you've understood the roll-up of interest if you choose not to make any payments. And at the end of that appointment, you've got the opportunity to ask any questions, to pause for a further time of thought, or we can set up an appointment to submit an application to the lender. Application to the lender doesn't tend to be a particularly difficult process. We ask you to send us some documents, so to prove your identification, your bank statements to show your income and outgoings and so forth, but there isn't a lot in that respect. Once the application has gone into the lender, an underwriter will have a look at it and the valuation will be instructed. Now, depending on the lender, that can happen instantly, or it may take a couple of days. Now, the valuers will get in touch with you and you get the chance to book an appointment whenever suits. Now, at the moment, with a lot of lenders, valuations are free. If there is a cost to the valuation, your advisor will make that very clear to you right at the start. Once the valuation's been done, most lenders review that within 2 to 3 days. So then we have an idea that they've agreed your application and they've looked at the value of the property, and then they can make an offer or come back to us with more information that they require at that point. So once the offer has been made, that's the lender saying, yes, subject to legal requirements being met, we will lend you the money. This is where your solicitors come involved. Now, if you're going down the mainstream mortgage route, that may be a solicitor provided by the lender. If you're going down the lifetime equity release mortgage route, you may have your own solicitor, or we can instruct a solicitor for you. Now, with lifetime mortgages, it's essential that you have independent legal advice. and the solicitor will want to see you face to face. Now, the firms that we work with, they will come to you. They charge a flat fee, which we'll discuss at the time of putting in the application with the lender and before. And they will come out to you and they will run through the offer document with you, they'll run through the mortgage deed with you, and they'll witness your signatures on both of those. The other really important function of a solicitor coming out to see you is to assess and to make sure that you have the capacity to make decisions like entering into a mortgage, and also it's a bit of a safeguard against you being coerced. So your advisor going through the process will look out for indications that people are being coerced, and so will the solicitor when they come out to see you. Generally speaking, unless there are legal complications with the title of the property or special conditions that the lender wants to meet, sometimes we get complications around septic tanks or boundaries, or maybe there's a damp issue with the property that needs sorting out. All of those we're there to support you with, but they can delay the process a little bit. But generally speaking, once you've had your solicitor appointment, in 2 or 3 weeks, the mortgage is likely to complete. So, simple, straightforward, smooth case, about 6 weeks currently. It's not unusual for cases to take 8 to 10 weeks, and a complex case might take 12. But we will manage your expectations throughout. Lenders are busier at different times of year. Just ask your advisor; they'll run through the timescales and apply those timescales specifically to your case.